bam! Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. How we doing this morning? How we doing?
Don't ask.
Are you awake? Are you like?
I've been awake. That's the problem.
This is false awake. I am pretending to have more energy than I actually do.
Wait. Do you telling me that you sleep cast, Raptor?
No, I am awake, but I am less awake than I probably appear on camera right now. I probably look like, yeah, let's go. I'm more in my brain. I'm going, oh my God, why am I up? So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I get you there. I get you there.
Indeed.
Y'all, it is 6:49 local time, Central Standard in Illinois, America, whatever. I have seen that giant ball of death rise way too many times lately. Yeah, exactly.
The horror, Zach. Well, as bad as you and I have it, rip those poor bastards on the West Coast. And if you're playing from Alaska or Hawaii, you have more dedication than I do to this game. So I'll just leave it at that.
I would imagine those people just pull an all-nighter. You know, what's the point?
I mean, at that point, what's the point of going to sleep? Actually, what are they? Alaska's an extra hour past Pacific, but what's Hawaii? I've never actually been out there.
I think it's like 2 or 3.
I gotta look it up. It is, what's the time is it in Honolulu? Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. in Honolulu. So
right,
yeah,
exactly.
I mean, at that point, why even go to sleep? Just freaking stay up all night and be done with it.
Sleep is for the weak, man.
Sleep is for the weak. Well, welcome in, everybody. It is the final day here of Warship Masters 2025. We have only a handful of matches for you today, but they are the big ones, right? We're going to start the day off with the losers bracket final with RESIN and AYAYA. Each of these teams having lost at least one match to get to this point. And then we're going to move straight into whoever wins that gets the honor and the privilege, Zath, of squaring off against TWA in the grand finals.
And what a privilege that will be.
Now,
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, if RESIN moves on, it's a rematch, right? Against the team that knocked them into the losers bracket. But if AYAYA overcomes RESIN and moves into the grand finals, as far as I'm aware, that'll be the first time these two teams have squared off in this event. That'll be interesting if we get there.
Ooh, wait, say that again. AYAYA? No. TWA faced AYAYA in winners bracket round 2. Pretty sure we covered that game. I'm pretty sure that's the one that we grabbed.
Yeah. It's gonna be. You're right. It's gonna be. You're right. I'm an idiot. I can't read.
It started yesterday.
So literally, whichever one of these teams makes, it's gonna be a rematch against the team that knocked him down here. And also, neither one of those was a sweep. So it's not like they got their face smashed in, right? It was like it's a good match. It's a good series. So so I still think it's anybody's game. Now on my little schedule sheet, you're probably asking yourself, why do you have grand finals listed twice, Raptor? Are you stuttering? Here's the deal. The way the grand finals is structured to work for this event, the original grand finals that begins in about an hour and change is a best of 5. And if TWA wins that series, done, dusted, day over, they are the victor. However, if the challenger out of the losers bracket wins that series, we aren't done, because TWA at that point will only have one series loss. And either AYAYA or RESIN will only have one series lost. It's a double elimination tournament. We got to go again, Zath. So there's one last best of 3 penciled in loosely to the schedule if needed to settle the whole thing. And I mean, these teams are good enough it could happen. So,
and don't forget, because of this, one of the big changes too is that TWA does not get an automatic win in the grand finals. So it is a straight best of 3. So essentially, best of 5, yeah. So essentially what that means is that we are looking at a minimum of 5 games. Okay, so 2 games here, sweep, and then 3 games sweep here. That's the minimum that we're going to see today. And then the maximum is up to 11 games.
11! It's a high variance today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We could be done in time for brunch. You could be still sitting here ordering pizza at noon. We don't know.
That's right. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out, but very excited to see the ending of this tournament. It's been a lot of fun. Just a quick reminder for everybody, for those of you who are new, we have the tournaments set up around tier 10 ships, and a point system. So this is the way that the tournament organizers try to balance ships that are considered to be more powerful in, say, clan battles and stuff. For those of you guys who play clan battles, you know that wargaming will typically either ban a ship straight out or place restrictions on it. You can only have one of this or one of a group of ships. And so for Warship Masters, you've got a point value up to 100 points may be spent. And if you want to take a Cristoforo Colombo, you're using up over a quarter of your points just to take one ship. And there's 6 other teammates that then have to suffer. So that's why we don't really see much Cristoforo Colombo in the tournament. I don't think we've seen it yet.
One of the things we started seeing yesterday, Zath, this was something that we saw. Was it Rain doing? Rain was doing this. Traditionally, and we are at a point now where both teams get at least one ship ban, right? So they can ban a ship outright that the other team can't use. Traditionally, we see teams ban a ship for capability reasons, right? When we started adding ship bans to King of the Sea all those years ago, it was you banned a ship because you just didn't want to deal with whatever it brought to the table. Very commonly for a long time, as an easy example, teams would try to ban both Russian cruisers to get 12-kilometer radar out of the environment and make life a little easier for their destroyers.
Yep.
But yesterday, Zath, you and I saw Rain doing something really interesting. They were banning the cheapest destroyer in the game, that was a Tiro Regalo at 10 points, to force their opposing teams to be like, look, if you want to bring destroyers, you're going to have to sink more points into it. We're not going to gift you one of these big expensive ships for free. You're going to have to compromise somewhere else to get those points.
That's right. That's right. And I really like that because it makes it even more expensive as a result to take maybe a ship that you were planning on. For example, we saw a team using Hildebrand, and then they compensated for that with a couple of Regalos. Well, with Rain banning Regalo, now they have to spend at least 11 points on those 2 ships. So that's 2 fewer points they can put elsewhere in the team, which starts to break comps. And that's what was really kind of cool to see. We have seen, you can barely see it on my screen, the very bottom, the Kitakami, 8 points. We've only seen that once in a meme map. We haven't seen an actual competitive game in it, but we have seen Austin. We saw Austin a good number of times yesterday, Raptor. So teams are starting to say, wait a minute, if we take a decent to good ship and pair it up with a better ship, a couple of those, maybe we've got a better chance.
Yeah, and of course, map compositions drive these team choices, these ship choices as well. Now, both teams getting to ban a map coming into this, setting things up for the map rotation here for this series we're about to bring you. Both teams banned hotspot. So super mega ultra hotspot hate in this series. Nobody wants to see it. We ended up starting on Sleeping Giant. We'll go to Northern Waters. And then the last map is always either by default whatever's left, or the bot picks randomly among the maps that are left. In this case, it would have been either North or Land of Fire, and we got North.
That's right. That's right. And then the ships that are banned, we've got Napoli banned by RESIN and Svea banned by AYAYA. Now, Raptor, you were a little surprised about the Svea ban, huh?
I am a little bit. Not because Svea is not a capable ship, far from it. But we haven't seen it acknowledged as a important piece in anybody's lineup up to this point. Like we've seen it used. We've seen more than one team field it. It's been effective, but nobody. I don't know that anybody up to this point would have thought, hey, we should ban that crazy light cruiser with the smoke and the quick firing guns and radar.
Well, I mean, it's an expensive boat as well at 19 points, right? But the thing about Svea is she's a fantastic kiting ship. She can be on her own, and she is a really good counter to what we saw Rain playing a lot of yesterday, which was that 4-destroyer double hull Z52 plus Ragnar combo. Was it 5?
5 destroyer. 5 destroyer.
What was the 5th?
5 destroyer lineup.
Druid?
They were running Z52. They were running Z52 double hull. I'm trying to remember. I think Ragnar. It was a Daring and a Ragnar. The Daring was always the off
on
destroyer.
the offside. Yeah.
You ran Ragnar, double hull, and Z52 was like your little wolf pack guys that moved around.
Right. So I mean, Svea is a really good counter to that, right? Because it's got the radar, it's got the smoke to hide itself, and it's got the guns and even the torpedoes wreck whatever's advancing. So I think that's why we see teams starting to think Svea is worthy of a ban. You know what I'm thinking too is interesting, Raptor. We haven't seen any San Martin, and that's been a traditional like mainstay of like kiting side in King of the Sea. Maybe she's just too expensive.
A lot of ships we haven't seen. A lot because of the point system. Again, this point system dictates what you can and can't take. You don't just take a ship for its capabilities or because you need it for a certain strategy. You take it because you can afford it, or you can't, or you find a way to afford it, or whatever. It's this little crinkle that they add to this event, and it's the only event that I know in the game that does this. Really makes Warship Masters really unique, and it's one of the things that makes casting it fun, because we see ships and comps and stuff that you don't see anywhere else in competitive warships.
That's right.
Because teams are forced to expand their horizons and pull tools out of the toolbox that they would normally never reach for. Zath, you and I will cast King of the Sea for 20 more years, possibly. We will never see anybody take a Georg Hoffman, ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
And we've seen it in multiple games this event.
Or a Regulo, for that matter. But yeah, I mean,
I know, right?
So, but the one thing that's nice about this tournament too is that what we don't see, we have not seen really any death snails, other than that hull, because they were all sharing smoke together. But beyond that, we haven't seen the traditional Hargumo gearing. You go someplace, you pop a big smoke, you throw a cruiser in it, and then you pray to God that your torpedoes hit. Blah 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 blah. It's freaking boring to watch and cast sometimes. So it's really nice to not see that kind of static play here. It's led to a lot more dynamic battles, and some epic throws, including yesterday. So some good stuff.
Still that man, that still hurts. That still hurts to see to talk about Bonks' loss in game one yesterday. That was rough. That was rough. Because at the end of the day, guys, go ahead.
A reminder for everybody too, by the way, we do have drops today. They should, by the time you hear this, they should have started for you, so double check. But watching 90 minutes, you'll get a St. Vincent perma camo and some boosters. So yay. Yep.
And we'll go ahead and cop to this now, right? Like, yes, we are impartial casters. We're not really officially rooting for people, but we're NA. We're kind of really rooting for the NA teams at heart, right? Like, that's a thing, and it's fine. But we're not going to crap on anybody because these are really good teams.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be dumb.
Absolutely. No, these are very good teams. They're very entertaining to watch. I mean, all three teams currently still in this really deserve to be first. So it's just a question of who's going to come up with the right combination of positioning, ship choice, and luck to make it work.
Now, interesting point that we talked about yesterday, Zap, that we haven't brought up again yet today. Okay. At this point, the three remaining teams that we have left in the event, AYAYA, RESIN, EU, all three the #1 seeds from their respective regions coming into the event. Of course, TWA out of the EU server, RESIN out of the NA server, AYAYA out of the Asia server. At this point, all of the Chinese server teams have been eliminated.
That is correct.
Game time.
Game time indeedy. Let's move on and take a look at Asia's #1 versus NA's #1.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warshippers of all ages, welcome to the losers bracket final here in Warship Masters 2025. Each of these teams to this point has one complete match loss. One of them is going to win this match for the right to compete against TWA in the grand final. One of them is going home. Let's figure out who it's going to be. Here in green, spawning in the northeastern corner of Sleeping Giant, we have AYAYA, the Asia #1 seed, coming in with a Ragnar. That's Moyu. Looking that up, nothing particularly exciting there. You choose Daring. He had a good day yesterday. We saw a lot of him in this Daring. And another Ragnar. That's Q on the other end of the line. It's a 4-cruiser lineup, paying a hefty 20 points for BYF's Petropavlovsk. Zath, I have questions. I have concerns.
BYF likes expensive things. We saw that yesterday.
But he does not play well with his toys always. RBQ in a unique upgrade Zao with RPF. Looks like he's headed over to play the 9-10 flank. A double Zao lineup, Zath. Check this out. Akatsuki in another Zao, not running reload and not unique upgrade. One of the first Zaos we've seen not take unique upgrade. And rounded out by Muon's Howden Liu with his unique upgrade. What has RESIN got cooking in red down at the bottom?
Yeah, well, it's also worthy to note we have special captain on Akatsuki Zao and not special captain on the other. So one Zao has more HP than the other. To the south, we've got Resin, Cassard for Price, just grabbing the C cap with Eagle Lance's Gdansk behind him, both of them using their special captains. So we've got Honoré and Jersey Mike. And then we've got Big Six in the Marseille, making his way as well down to. It looks like he's going to go all the way to the west side, that's my guess.
I'm betting he and Peyton will do that.
Yeah, so he's rocking Honoré as well with a buffed Adrenaline Rush. So is Peyton the Rock Hider. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Hider.
Yes.
In his Henri. And behind them all is Boom Diata. That's a name I haven't seen in a bit. In the Prince Van Aranye.
Was literally about to say that. There's a name I've not seen in a long time.
Right. We've got Mad Dog going the opposite direction in his Z42 with Lutjens as the captain, and finally Mubuki in a unique upgrade Venezia with Sansonetti.
Oh my god. All right. Well, my stream's going to get audio for a minute because my game routine just crashed.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Super fun, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry to hear.
Sure do love how stable the client is these days. This is not the first time this has happened to me lately either.
Do you
Hopefully
need me
I can
to
get back in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can put up a stream of my game if you need it.
Hold on for a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
It should let me back in. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
But again,
All right.
it might not. It might not because training battle. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I like AYAYA's double Ragnar idea. They're probably going to try to radar out whoever goes mid. But Resin, was it Resin or Bonks? I think it was Bonks we saw. Didn't play that game.
Yep, it's letting me back in. Okay,
Good.
I'm back.
Good. Well, you're back just in time to see iCUE possibly take a torp. He does. Oh, and another
daring.
one in this daring, and
double.
Moyu takes one too up the butt.
Ooh, spicy. Cassard torpedoes paying off here.
Yes. Wow. Remember, those torpedoes lose damage over range, but they still hit and they still cause floods.
But he had his hydro up. That is shocking to me.
iCUE had his hydro up. He was turning out. I think he was preparing to back in right when those torpedoes were spotted.
Now, it's a bigger deal for, I mean, those are both destroyers that come with a heal. Well, all three of their destroyers come with heals, but still, that's noteworthy because it costs you're forced to use one early, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Worth noting, Zath, Resin taking both of these destroyers straight to mid, vomiting out torpedoes, and then bailing, and they don't even touch the cap circle. Very interesting strat from these guys. Boom Diat is lit now as well.
Yeah, it's very similar, like I said, to what we saw Bonks do yesterday against the same team, against AYAYA.
Yeah. Now, Boom Diat's position here, I'm kind of gauging it very deliberate. With that 15-kilometer plane drop that Prince Oranji has, he can actually bomb the extreme corner of the cap that we're seeing iCUE head into now. Yep.
And that's the exact reason why we see the PVO there. And he's also bow out so that he can kite away a little bit easier if needed. Traditionally, that spot is where you put a radar cruiser. So they're probably expecting the Petro or the Haunlu to show up there.
Well, it's an information radar from the Ragnar worth it almost nothing until Peyton drives directly into it as he dives Thunderdome here.
Well, yeah, but iCUE also gets detected.
Oh, how did he get lit?
He got radar by Eagle Lance's Gdansk.
Yeah. Eagle Lance's Gdansk's radar, yep. So they know exactly where to drop those bombs. Peyton is going to make the dive into Thunderdome. He successfully completes the turn here. Going to take a little bit of Haunlu bombs for his trouble, but probably nothing that'll get him killed.
Nah, he'll be fine.
He is locked up on the Haunlu Hydro there, so they know exactly where he is. He'll have to cut back to the south if he wants to avoid that. It's
an interesting decision to shove a cruiser in that early. I don't know that I like it, to be honest.
I think I like it. I think, I mean, for starters, in a world, some more Cassard torpedoes getting good work. Mulan taking 2 of those, again, even with the Hydro being up. Fry's having a great game with Cassard so far. I like it in a world with no battleships, right? And we see this more and more in the game, in this tournament, right? Battleship-less compositions are becoming, very common.
Yeah, well, battleships are expensive in this. So
Absolutely. But I mean, what destroyer is going to want to charge an Henri with his reload booster in there, right? Nobody wants to do that.
well, but the point I'm getting at is it's pretty easy to farm out whatever's in there anyways. You can see we've got Akatsuki getting shots in. Muon's at least using his Dutch airstrike on him. BYF is keeping him lit via hydro, as is Muon. So, I mean, Hayden can try to hide behind a rock all he wants. It's not going to help.
What I don't like about his position is he stayed on the north side of the circle. If
Instead
he
of the
was
south.
down here in the south side, they wouldn't be able to keep him forever locked on hydro.
Yes. Yes, I don't quite understand that decision, but it was made, and there he is.
Yep. For the moment, it's working out. I mean, I'd say it's working out. Peyton is coughing up health at a very, very fast rate. So we'll see how well it works out. He is easily the lowest ship on his team in terms of health pool remaining. Fryx has taken about half. Everybody else just some little chip damage here and there.
Yeah, Fryx was just picked up on Ragnar radar from Oyu, and iCUE is also on Eagle Lance's radar in his Gdansk. Oh, but wait. Ah, iCUE got lucky, chose the right direction to run away. Mad Dog's about to catch him on hydro.
Yep, they're going to catch a brief glimpse of the daring in that gap as he stands in, so they know now that there's at least the one destroyer rotated back. Big Venezia salvo falling in on iCUE. Not bad. And now Mad Dog caught by Ragnar radar as well.
Yeah, nice hit on BYF's Petro. Ooh, Peyton is 10k now.
I said brief glimpse of iCUE. I was actually lying. He's caught on Mad Dog's
He's
hydro.
caught on
I missed that.
Right, exactly. Yep. So he'll be lit for quite some time unless Mad Dog goes down, which is a distinct possibility
Which is a
here.
possibility here. He's this long duration Ragnar radar is going to take care of him.
Zhao catches him.
Yep.
PreyQ finishes it. First
Peyton
blood to
now down
AYAYA.
2,300 and falling, burning. More bombs about to come in. Peyton's going out right here. No, he somehow manages to survive on 280. They can still see him, but the shells aren't landing right now.
No, they aren't.
His next heal 25 seconds away, but they do bag him.
Yeah, I think they were.
Get A.
Yep, I think they were expecting him to just burn out, so they started moving to other targets.
Well, they do get the trade with BYF, so Peyton sells his ship for a cap, which is for years I've tell people in randoms, don't do this. Please don't do this.
Especially ranked.
But in this instance, it might work out for RESIN after all.
Well, it certainly puts the pressure on AYAYA. They do have a ship advantage right now for the moment, but they are going to have to find a way to get into another cap. And you can see RESIN rotating their Gdansk back towards C, sussing out a bit of a push on that flank now.
Well, their remaining ships over on the one line are looking a little rough, right? Akatsuki's Zhao basically really, really, really low. They're trying to catch Fryx again with the Ragnar radar. They're not getting him. He's headed the other way back towards mid. My suspicion is they'll bring Big Six's Marseille back as well, but we'll just have to see how they play it. Right now, it's the Daring, that's iCUE, that's headed towards the cap. Gdansk radar is available, but it doesn't quite cover the entire cap circle from where Eagle Lance is currently positioned.
Yeah, but he is luck chucking some torpedoes exactly where iCUE's probably going to go, figuring one of them is going to walk into the A cap.
Well, they figured correctly. It's only a 20-point lead here for RESIN, down a ship, trying to find a way to stay into this game. These torpedoes are about to get picked up by everybody's hydro.
Yep, and there's the radar from Eagle Lance.
There's the radar. Yep.
Here comes the Dutch oven.
iCUE managing to dodge the torpedoes. The torpedoes actually ran out of steam right at the edge of the cap circle there. Prince Vanarangi bombs falling in here.
I'm surprised. It's another time we haven't seen a player use defensive anti-air against the Dutch airstrike.
I think because of the way those Dutch airstrike works, I think a lot of players, and I'm on this list, frequently won't bother because once the planes are on their outbound cycle, they're immune to anti-aircraft fire at that point. So like you can't even get XP out of it anymore at that stage. It's really frustrating.
Well, the way I see it is if you take out 1 or 2 planes, you prevent certain bombs from dropping. Could have an impact.
Fair enough. So now Fryce gonna drive into the bottom, bring the Cassard into the bottom of the cap there. Each you gonna sit in the top of the cap, and now
another radar.
There's
what
another
do you know?
radar from the Gdansk. Gonna see if they can get Ichiu again. Gonna push him off the cap. At a minimum, they're not gonna let AYAYA have this cap, and they're gonna try and preserve their lead. That's the main goal here.
Yes.
They're getting good damage on Ichiu, whose last heal is coming up here in just a minute. But Moyo's Ragnar has returned from the 1 line.
I like that a lot, actually.
I
tag
really
him
like
out,
this
tag
play.
him in.
They're gonna need this. They're gonna need this radar. They're gonna need this health.
Here comes the anti-air now from 1. He knows he's low. He's already on, what, 1 or 2 fires? 2 fires. His DCP is available, though.
Ragnar standing in. These torpedoes in front of him are not spotted. Everybody's hydro is offline.
Oh, he's gonna take 2.
He's gonna take 2 of these.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, more big work out of these torpedoes. Those are Gdansk torpedoes.
AYAYA with the worst luck today so far, man. I mean,
yeah, I don't
they
think
just
we've
keep
seen
taking them.
I don't think we've seen this many in the whole bloody event land in a single game. That's crazy.
And here comes yet another radar.
Here comes They want to know who it is now. We're now catching the Ragnar here.
And Ichiu.
But I think Eagles. Oh, they catch them both. Now, I think you try to pick up Ichiu, but man, the Gdansk Eagle lands very low out there. I don't think you can risk that. I don't think you can open fire.
Check it out. We've got a theme coming here. We got a theme coming here, Raptor. You ready?
Oh no! Woo. Wow. Well, and they do bag the Ragnar at the top of the cap. That now there's only seconds left because now they're picking things up. Fryce, either sensing or knowing, suspecting these daring torpedoes were coming, he is bailing out, and it's going to be RESIN that takes game 1, Zaf.
What a battle.
That was a great battle. And when Peyton died so early, I was concerned, let's say. But I got to say, the fact that he was able to hang in there long enough to convert the cap, I think really made that impactful, because now you're kind of putting the clock on the game. If he doesn't get that cap, if he dies and they don't get the capture zone, it's a different game, a completely different game. But because now that he has, all they have to do is play defense, and anytime there's not an AYAYA ship sitting in that cap circle, they are able to tick up points. And that was the difference in this game. One of the few times I can remember trading a ship for a cap being a good play.
Yeah, well, at the same time, you know, we also have to recognize the brilliant torpedoes at the beginning from RESIN, just completely catching AYAYA off guard to the point where they're immediately playing on the back foot. Instead of driving the match, now they're reacting to it. Yeah,
I mean, the destroyer torpedoes in that match out of RESIN were a huge impact, like big impact, right? You just generally, we have not seen a lot of that in this tournament, right? That's the thing. With fewer battleships on the field, torpedoes tend to hit less because the ships they're trying to hit are smaller, more maneuverable, more likely to have hydro and see them coming. But that game, hydro didn't matter. How many? Fryce landed 4 or 5 torpedoes on ships that had hydro ticking, and it didn't matter. He was just like, nah, take some torpedoes.
Craziness. I'm curious. I'm curious here. Let me take a look at something. In that game we just saw, Fryce had 80,000 potential damage, 33,000 spotting damage. And how many torpedoes did he hit? Does it show? No, I don't have that. Okay. I have a tool that allows me to pull up the game based on the replay and spit out a whole bunch of fun stuff. So he got just under 30,000 damage in the Cassard.
Well, he didn't use his guns very much, but it feels like the torpedoes were... It felt like he did more than that.
Oh, wait
Those
a minute.
French torpedoes are supposed to hit harder than that.
I can expand this. Okay. So
I'm genuinely curious.
28,360 damage with torpedoes, 563 on flood. He had two torpedo hits. Two torpedo hits.
Okay.
Doesn't seem right. So that must have been.
That doesn't seem right at all. That's not right at all.
Well, maybe earlier it wasn't Hayton's torpedoes or Frice's. It was Eagle Lance's Gdansk torpedoes that hit. Let's see.
Now that is possible because the Gdansk we know had several.
He had 4 torpedo hits. Eagle Lance had 4 torpedo hits for 83,835 damage.
Okay, so it must have been the Gdansk torpedoes, not the Cassard ones that we saw hit those early destroyers. Which actually, now that I think about it, Zath, starts to make a little more sense. Because Gdansk torpedoes move like, what, 80 knots?
Yeah, they're really hard to dodge.
They're difficult to dodge, so that starts to make a little more sense now. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
Eagle Lance
I
had
can see it.
142,000 gun damage by itself.
No,
Wow.
I believe that. He was getting super work out of the guns, especially in smoke. He and the Prince Orange, Boomdiata, basically farmed out that Petro, right? Like the two of them just kept him lit on fire until he burned to the waterline.
Yeah. Very interesting. He got Boomdiata 21, just under 21,000 bomb damage.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm curious. But
you're right in that AYAYA definitely had some bad luck with torpedoes. You're not wrong. Now, with that said, anytime you take this many destroyers, you're going to have a lot of torpedoes flying around. Knowing where to lead them, knowing how to lead them, sometimes ends up generating a little bit of luck.
Right. I'll tell you, Peyton, almost 3.2 million potential damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe all of that. They were pissed at him. Pissed at him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep, I believe all of it. All right, well, game 1 in the books. Going to game 2, headed to Northern Waters here in a minute. While we're in between games, briefly, I'll talk about giveaways on my channel. Of course, we talked about drops earlier in the cast. I'll hit that again very briefly, guys. 90 minutes today on my stream or Zath's stream will get you some Econ bonuses and a permanent camo for Tier 10 British. They're going to call it a battleship. It's a battle cruiser. St. Vincent. And then on my channel, one of my mods today, that's 4BF. God bless him. He's in a very different time zone than I am. But he is going to be up doing giveaways in between games. So when there's not a game on the screen, chances are there's a giveaway running. But I do my giveaways over on my Discord channel. I have a dedicated channel in my Discord for doing giveaways, and 4BF is going to be running those over there. So you'll have to join the Discord. You can type !! Discord in my channel. You'll get a little link, take you over there. Join the giveaway channel, and you can enter those giveaways just by clicking a react emoji. Anytime there's a giveaway up, you'll get entered. The bot will draw some names, and my mods will message you with your winnings later on. Zath, you run your giveaways a little different.
Yeah, I try to make it a little bit simpler. It's just on Twitch. All you have to do is be on my Twitch channel. You have to be a follower and just active, and that's it. I do multi-stream to YouTube, Rumble, and Kick as well. But for the bot that I use, the only way to do that is through Twitch. It just pulls the users, picks somebody, pulls the viewers, picks somebody, and then just eats out the code. So it's very simple. You don't have to worry about being present to claim your code or anything like that. It just gets messaged to you, delivered nice and easy. So it's easy for all parties, really. And on top of the giveaways that are happening both for Raptor on his Discord and me on my Twitch channel, we also have the Warships official cast going. They've been releasing codes during the course of the day yesterday, and they've already released one code today. Those codes are for usually 250 community tokens. Yesterday, there were 4 of them. So
5.
Was it 5? Okay.
There were 5 yesterday.
So anyways, if you are paying attention, I'm trying to pin them in my chat whenever I see them, and just keep an idea on chat, keep an eye on it, and you can get in on some community tokens.
Now, one of my chatters, regular 4BF, pointing out Gdansk is the most expensive destroyer you can field, Zath. But man, I feel like RESIN got their money's worth that game.
Yeah. Well, and it also kind of sells why people should maybe work their way up this line of ships. I'm not a big fan of the Gdansk, but a lot of people can really make her work with the guns and the torps. And the big thing about it, of course, is the smoke and the radar. So if it gets detected, it pops its iWin button. It detects whatever spotted it with radar, and then it can smoke itself up so it can't be shot back. So it's a very potent boat.
I think what surprised me was how quickly the cooldown on that radar seemed to come back.
It did seem to come back really quick.
It makes me wonder if there was... I'm going to have to look at Eagle's build if he shows it up again in that boat. I'm really curious. I do not... If memory serves, the radar... Okay, you get the radar on that line of ships on the 9 and the 10, not the 8. Or do you get it on the 8?
No, you get it on the 8. You get it on the 8.
You get on the 8, 9, and 10. It's a short duration radar. It's like 25 seconds, so it's not long. But I don't remember it having a short cooldown. But man, it certainly felt like it had a short cooldown there watching Eagle use it.
So I even looked back to see if he had consumable specialist, because I thought to myself, gee, that came up really quick as well. And he does not. His captain skills, grease the gears, preventive maintenance, last stand, superintendent, adrenaline rush, survivability expert, concealment expert, and radio location. He does not have consumable specialist. And in slot 2, he's running the surveillance radar modification 1, which makes sense. You want the radar to last longer.
Max duration, yeah. All right, so we'll have a look at his build. If he plays Gdansk again this game, we'll have a look. Worst case, when this game is over, I'll go back to port for a minute and pull Gdansk up on my screen and have a look at the ship and actually like run it against another radar at tier 10 because I'm curious. All right, both teams here, both teams ready. My expectation is we're waiting on word from the official cast that it's time to go. So we will see shortly, but my suspicion is we'll be underway here in just a minute.
Let me see here. I can't remember if it lists the cooldown of the radar on the wiki. I'm looking. I don't think it does. Nope. Not that I can see, at least.
No, generally the wiki just tells you that the consumable is available, and then the various durations are not always easy to figure out based on the consumables.
Well, we got game 2 coming.
It varies. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this. All right. Game 2 inbound, ladies and gentlemen. And nope, we are not going to get a chance to look at that Gdansk build again, but we can poke around in between games. All right, Zap, it's a pivotal game 2. AYAYA back to the wall. They're in green here, spawning on the top end of Northern Waters. Talk me through their lineup.
Yeah, so we've got Moyu in the Delny with Dazzle. Good choice, I think. That's going to be fun on this one. Yichu back in the Daring again. PreQ back in the Ragnar. BYF taking another expensive boat, the Puerto Rico this time. And then we've got RBQ's Zhao with unique upgrade. Akatsuki is now in a Marseille with Henri, and we've got Muan now in a Prince Ben Aranye saying, hey, I kind of like what you did to me last game. I want to do that back to you guys.
More.
All right. Tell us about Red.
Resin in red, spawning in the south side of Northern Waters here, fielding a 4 destroyer lineup, headlined by Big Six's Delny. He is speed boosting over here to A. He is backed up immediately at close range by Big Boy's Georg Hoffman. Again, a ship that is relatively new that we were commenting on how uncommon. We would probably never see this in King of the Sea. But in this instance, that 6-kilometer hydro it packs, somewhat impactful. Paired up with Mad Dog's Ragnar and Peyton's Des Moines. Zap, that is a whole lot of I really want to find destroyers and spot them and murder them going to one cap.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And the Hoffman we saw at that pivotal one-line island at A. We saw that come into great effect yesterday. Indeed.
Headed to the C flank, Eagle Lance's Z42 and Mabuki's Zhao, unique upgrade. And then for the moment, Boomdiana's Prince Oranji kind of hanging mid, now starting to kind of maybe turn over towards the A cap. I'm wondering if he's going to snuggle up to this island here along the 4 line. He's got, I mean, that 15-kilometer radius on his planes gives him a huge impact. He could probably just hang here for a spell and see how things shake out and then decide where he wants to deploy.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams brought a Prince Van Oranje to deal with any possible Soviet radar, right? The 12-kilometer radar, petrol, whatever. And so that island is a pretty safe spot to hit and farm out Petro that's on the opposite side, north of the A cap or south of the A cap, depending on the side. So neither team brought one of those, so it's kind of like, okay, well, we know where the Des Moines probably going to go from a Yaya's perspective, and I would imagine that RESIN anticipates the Puerto Rico is going to go to the opposite spot. So I think both these cruisers are getting into position to Dutch oven.
First contact along the 1 line. The 2 Delnies discover each other in a position that probably has them a little uncomfortable as the Marseille begins to chip in on Big 6 and really just slaps him around. Obviously pushes his reload booster. More shells, more of those big French HE shells coming down range. He is just trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, those shells missed.
Big 6 doing a good job of just dodging incoming fire here. Drawing to a stop. Does take another good hit from the Marseille.
And a sticky fire, so he's going to be lit from farther away now.
They're trying, Zap, they're trying to, am I reading this right? They're trying to drive the Marseille to the island on the 1 line.
It looks like it. I think the plan was a little bit more cautious, but then now Big 6 is there, and I mean, they're smelling blood in the water, man.
Well, I mean, I can get it. He finally does. The fire expires. He's finally dark. He's noticed that he's holding his damage control just to make sure he doesn't get lit again.
Yes.
And he hasn't. The Marseille is going to make it to this island, Zath, but
paying dearly for it.
He cost him well over half his HP. Coming up on 2/3 of his HP here, and he's sitting directly across from a Georg Hoffman, whose torpedoes could very quickly end his life if they're able to find a way to make that come together.
Ironically enough, we saw this yesterday with Bonks. They set a cruiser on the other side of a Hoffman on this island, and it eventually got farmed out to death.
Yep. Well, and now you see Boom Diata moving up in response to this with his Dutch oven planes. Like, nope, you are not going to get to sit here without getting harassed.
But you can see how narrow that drop rectangle is. Akatsuki is able to dodge most of that, actually all of it, by just pulling forward a bit.
Yep.
I'm surprised Moyu's just hanging out in Hoffman's hydro range. Like, okay, I'll just get shot at for free, no problem.
I mean, that's what he's doing.
Just feels so weird.
Yichiu's daring, very exposed out here in the middle of the map. He moved all the way out here just to get some torpedoes downrange on Peyton's Des Moines position. Peyton's hydro has expired. For the moment, however, the Prince Orangi hydro kind of covering his back a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. So even when Big Boy's hydro expires, these two are absolutely going to be proxy spotting each other. They know exactly where Moyu is. They know exactly where Akatsuki is. Torpedoes now going to be picked up by the hydro. In fact, the Ragnar, Pre-Q's Ragnar now out in mid, well spotted.
Well, he's opening up in Big Boy 69's Hoffman. They're trying to just do something about it, but AYAYA's not in a real position to do anything, frankly. So they're just losing more hit points trying to help a teammate who's already dead.
You say that, but they're making a play for Zath. It's slow, it's measured, but it's coming, right? RBQ's push down the 10 line. Muon's Prince Orangi coming down the 7 line, spearheaded by Yichiu's Daring, who they've rotated over from the A cap. They're going to be stepping onto C here in the next 60 seconds or so.
Sure.
Feels like RESIN's game really kind of hinges on getting this Marseille out of position, or out of position, killing it. Once they do, however, life starts to feel a lot better. Oh, massive Marseille salvo. Massive Prince Orangi salvo there coming in on RESIN's cruisers.
Yep, we saw that. I saw the first shell coming in, didn't do as much, but I think Akatsuki had his reload booster going, knowing Boom Diata is kind of stuck broadside to him. Took advantage of that.
He did. Big hits there. Ranji having to retreat now.
BYF's Puerto Rico getting involved now.
They got him lit, so he was dark for a moment, but the fire on his stern absolutely keeps him lit now, and I suspect they're going to cling Boom Diata up here in a minute. They're never going to let him live if they can help it.
No. No, he's in a very important piece to get off the board, because then Kotsky is a lot safer now in his Marseille.
Puerto Rico AP falling in. All falls astern.
Now they're not going to come away with that kill. Boom Diata lives to bomb another day.
Torpedoes crawling up Eagle Lance's stern while his hydro's ticking. He knows now there's somebody over there. In fact, they've got the Daring lit on his hydro.
Yep.
So they now know that AYAYA making a play, threatening the C cap. They got some good damage into RBQ's Zhao there.
Even better damage.
Salvo. Yeah, Zhao's AP is no joke. If you show him the opportunity, he's gonna make it.
Big boy grabs Kotsky. Yeah, he went too far forward.
They charged him, and they got him.
Wow.
Mr. President, we got him.
That's right.
That frees Resin up. You can already see Peyton rounding the corner. Big boy.
Here's RBQ.
Big boy very, very low. Big boy's gonna burn out, but they do bag the Zhao on the 10 line.
Yeah.
And if Mabuki can stay in the game, that's a big deal.
He just finished his heal, and his DCP is down.
Well, he's got torpedoes coming in, but his hydro's up so he can see them. But on the map edge, can he avoid them?
Yeah, he'll be okay.
No. Ooh, this is gonna be close, kids.
Called it. He's fine.
All right, just like that, AYAYA down a ship, but working to get up a cap here.
I like PreyQ. Look at PreyQ. Like, leave my friend alone.
Yeah, Eagle Lance in a bit of a pickle here. The Ragnar has moved over to cause him particular trouble. He's spotted now as well. Oh man, the Z42 AP doing good work against the Ragnar there, Zaf.
Yep. Radar's expiring, but Eagle Lance is shooting, so...
Yeah, Eagle, I think, has just decided I'm going to go out here, but I'm going to get max damage into this Ragnar before I do.
Very nice salvo in from Boom Diata, by the way.
Yeah.
It's going to probably be a trade now.
I think they realize they can trade Eagle for the Ragnar, and if they can pull that off, they'll be happy with it, and they do.
Final shell from the Zhao, from Mabuki.
Mabuki Zhao takes care of it. Now we're at a point where Resin can afford to trade ships because they have a ship advantage. And now they have a 2-ship advantage.
Yeah.
The Puerto Rico goes out. Zaf, he had a lot of health.
He did, but he got Dutch ovened.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe they were able to kill BYF that quickly. That Puerto Rico was super healthy a little while ago.
Yeah, well, now he's super not.
I was starting to get concerned again, Zath. I kept looking at the C push going, I don't know about this. Are they going to be able to hold? And turns out, yes.
Now, of course, because Resin's up a game, I'm personally rooting for AYAYA so we get to a game 3. But I don't know that that's going to happen.
It does not look good right now, Zath. If they were tied on ships, I would say it would be more interesting. But down a ship like this, they're in trouble.
Yeah, Moyu trying to get into the A cap, but Hayden and Big Six are both there to receive that, so.
Yeah, well, they know that Moyu's beat up. Big Six trying to back up a little bit, get some spots on him, maybe get him to open up his guns again. They're going to catch a brief glimpse of each other here. Or is the Rock going to be just perfectly positioned that they never quite make it?
They'll spot in a second.
So far, they haven't managed it, but it's going to happen probably right about here. There it is. Go. They do finally catch a glimpse. He's trying to bait Moyo into firing. There it is. Now he can get out of here, and that'll give Peyton plenty of salvos to work up. They're trying to. I think they're just trying to trade Big Six for this Delny, Zath. They're trying to clean this Delny up so they can pull Peyton off this side of the map completely.
Both Delnys are out of heals. Yeah, Big Six just lazily pulls forward and done.
they've got Mabuki trapped in the corner of the map. Muon's Oranji trying to take care of him here. The other Oranji throwing AP into his broadside and getting good work out of it right there. In fact, Muon's going to burn down. No, he's not. They do finally bag Moyo's Delny way over on the 1 line, as the Zhao is going to clean up the other Oranji way down in the corner, Zaf. That's going to be it. There's no way AYAYA's getting back in this game with just a daring.
That's it.
Wow. Such a strong board position, Zaf, and RESIN had just seemingly all the right answers at the right time.
That they did. I really struggle with the Marseille push onto that rock. I think that completely messed everything up. What's weird about it is AYAYA took advantage of Bonks doing that to them yesterday. Yeah. So why would you do what the opponent did and lost? I
don't know. Zaf. It's an interesting question. You know, you and I talked briefly yesterday. I'll come back to this point in a minute. Right now, congrats to RESIN. Congrats to RESIN. 2-0 winners here in the losers bracket final. They have earned the honor and privilege, Zaf, of the rematch against TWA in the grand finals. We'll see them again in just a few minutes.
That's right.
You and I talked earlier in the event. I don't know if it was yesterday or last weekend. I think it was yesterday, but I don't recall anymore. About linchpins, right? Ship positions that as a game develops, you can look at a map and go, that's it. If I can kill this MFer, right? My opponent's whole board position disintegrates, and and it frees up everything. I can reallocate resources. And in this case, the Marseille was 100% that board piece for AYAYA, and it was a board piece that they put in that position voluntarily. That I think is unusual.
Well, like I said, I think they saw the opportunity to get an early pick, and they pushed hard to get that early pick, and they could not get that early pick. I mean, it possibly could have been a different game had they managed to get rid of Big Boy's Delny, but they just couldn't. So it's a situation where possibly that ship kind of baited them into doing something that they didn't want to do originally, because usually you don't just YOLO charge that island early especially against the Hoffman, because again, AYAYA saw that play yesterday because they did it to Bonks as the Hoffman, right? With the Hoffman. So come on, you know what they're going to do with it. So to me, it just feels kind of weird that AYAYA would be like, well, that's fine. We're just going to skill gap them. You can't skill gap a number 1 team on any server, guys. You just can't do it. You just can't do it, okay? So, like, it just felt weird to see them say, okay, well, we're just going to go and full send the Marseillan without any other support, you know? And then later, while the Marseille's sitting there getting hammered, you've got the Delny guy that's just running around in the Hydro saying, shoot me instead, please. Why?
Yeah, like he sort of had support, right? Because there was the Delny nearby, right? But it was not extensive support by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And yeah, just very, very surprising to me, kind of the way that was allowed to evolve. They got so much free damage on that Delny, on Moy's on that Del. I can't remember the player's name right now, but yeah, like it was wild. You just don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
Usually it's like, I'm in a destroyer. I'm lit. I should work to not be lit. Right. And he was like, nah, it's cool. I'm just going to chill here. Now, I think to some extent, going back to your point about close support, while he was in the vicinity, the Hoffman he can't really push, can he? That's a tough position. A Marseille supported by another close aboard destroyer is a much more challenging proposition than, the Delny effed off and left the Marseille by himself. Okay, now I'm going to go get this guy, which I think is eventually what happened.
So I just felt that one felt bad. And then on the other side, a bit of a misplay as well, in my opinion, for AYAYA's cruiser, the Zhao that was pushing down the 10 line. you know, he got into a really sticky situation, and credit where credit's due. I think that was Eagle Lance in the Z42 in a brilliant position to not only hydro lock their home cap, the C cap, but also be able to shoot AP into the broadside of the Zhao to the point where, okay, now he's going to have to kite away, turn, but as he's turning, now he's showing broadside to Mabuki's Zhao, and he gets clobbered for it. So that was really cool to see. Very good plays by RESIN there. They absolutely earned the right to go to the grand finals.
Absolutely. I love seeing Z42 get some love at these in this event, Zath, because it's one of my favorite destroyers. Those little tiny German guns, you don't think about it. You know, that quick rate of fire, the individual shells don't do that much damage, but it's got a lot of them. And you know, when allowed, when disrespected, or maybe when you just put the, as you're pointing out, when Eagle Lance, you know, you put the ship in a good position, you can kind of force mistakes on your opponent by swapping to the AP, and suddenly next thing you know, bam, you are down 10,000 HP because he's just full penning the bejesus out of you.
That's right. That's right. We also saw Prince Banneranye getting slapped a little bit. So, I mean, a lot of really big hits there, and no battleship. So it kind of shows you don't really kind of need a battleship so much, right? To be able to make those key plays still.
There is a valid argument, and we've seen it many, many times over the course of this event, that bringing a battleship is a liability. It's generally, they're slower, more vulnerable to torpedoes, in an environment where we know the opposing team is going to have more than one destroyer almost every time. Very rarely have we seen one destroyer comps in the tournament up to this point. There have been a couple, but they are few and far between.
That's right.
So battleships, because of how expensive they are, let me run a, if you do a little comparison here. If you're used to watching King of the Sea, we don't have this point system. Put the point system up real quick. Okay. So this point system is what differentiates Warship Masters from traditional high-tier competitive play in World of Warships. When you play King of the Sea, or most tournament play, there is a class limit. You are allowed to take up to 2 battleships, for example. That's general, like that's King of the Sea rules in 7v7. When you're allowed to take battleships, you're going to take it. Why? Because you're going to move them to opposite sides of the map and look for the ability to do big damage on people that are sleeping or not paying attention or get caught out of position or whatever. And that's what they're good for. They have that aura of power they project around them because it's a lot of health to chew through. They're big guns, you know, so on and so forth. Okay. But now in a world with this point system where I have to pay to field a battleship, how do I afford 2 of them? That's crazy. That's tough. And when I can afford 2, like the cheapest battleship is 17 points.
Yep.
That for 17 points, I could have a Napoli. For 17 points, I could have a Marseille, right? For 15 points, I could have a Puerto Rico. Why would I take a battleship? So,
yeah,
man, it's tough to field a battleship in this tournament. And certainly, it's virtually impossible to field more than one and still have an effective lineup to put around him. Because you just don't see it. It's impossible.
So I was taking a look at Discord, Raptor. We have 30 minutes until our game.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, they want 30 minutes between the first and second set. Remember, guys,
what a
that
waste of time.
Wargaming Official, of course, is also streaming. And what they like to do on Grand Finals days is make special announcements and things like that. And because of the way that this tournament is set up, if you think about it, we might not have a grand final round 2. So if they're looking to do anything special, this is the only time they can do it. So what I'm thinking of doing is pulling down a replay, kind of like what we did last week, I think it was Sunday, while we waited for the playoffs to begin. And maybe we can take a look at the game, one of the games we just saw from the player's perspective. Do you have a preference of which of those 2 games?
No.
Someone clip that for a second, please.
Man, I did not get up at 5:30 on a Sunday morning to sit around with my in my hand for 30 minutes while, man, come on. So,
That
Zach,
look was great.
one of the reasons that I have personally enjoyed casting tabletop card gaming tournaments so much recently, there's the entire point of the event is to minimize downtime. And then I come back and I do Warships, and Wargaming's like, hold my beer. Like, what the is this garbage, man?
Emphasis on the hold part.
Yeah, quite literally emphasis on the hold part. Oh my God. All right, well, apologies, guys. We don't get a say. Yay.
Nope. But what we do get is some time to hang out, I guess, and
I guess
I'm gonna pull up I guess I can pull up the first game first, because we're gonna have time to do both, frankly.
Are you gonna You're gonna do full replays of like the player perspective?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Something to do. I mean, otherwise, what are we gonna do? Just sit here and gab forever? You know what I mean? Like,
no, a family-friendly stream. I'm not gonna make that hand motion, but yes.
Yeah. So, I'll do that, and if you want, I can stream it to you, or if you want to load it up. Whatever you want to do.
Go ahead. My frustration is more that they don't warn us about this in advance. If they warn me about this in advance, right, I know going in that I have to fill this gap. And like before, you and I can do something. Like, remember when we did King of the Sea last year? We did that whole thing where we went back and we highlighted like some of our favorite games from years past, right? If I had known I had a half hour to kill, we could have done something like that. Or I don't know what it would have looked like. You and I could have brainstormed something cool to fill the time.
Well, I mean,
no.
Okay. Well, crap, because it's so early in the morning, I don't think brawls are open. I was gonna say, you and I could go do a 2v2 brawl or something. Or,
no, like quite literally. Well, I'm on the press. I'd have to change accounts, but
yeah, both of us would, yeah.
Let's see. Let's look at the information here. Does it tell me? No. Well, since there's no reason for me to sit in the game right now. I'm gonna reload the game client.
Go for it.
On my account, and I'll go look and see if brawls are open.
All right. In the meantime, I got the game up, and I'll just let it start.
Okay.
But I agree with you. Sharing the run of show with the people who are also along for the show would be nice.
Yeah, we'll add that to our feedback.
Yes.
I'm used to them building in some gaps, but traditionally either they do it in between games.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're going to build an extra 5 to 8 minute delay in here so we can do this thing. I don't know that I've ever seen them kill an entire half hour. That's just crazy to me. No, brawls are not open. Session starts in 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Ops are open, of course, and obviously ranked starts in 5 hours. Yeah, so yeah, no. Everything is closed. Come back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Warships is closed.
Maybe you come back later.
maybe you come back tomorrow, eh?
Oh my goodness. That was like when I was in Egypt a few years ago, and everybody wanted to, take me places with their camel, and they're like, maybe later? Yes, maybe later. Go away.
I'm gonna leave you with hope, but with the knowledge that I will be doing nothing.
That's right. That's right. The hope is a lie.
The hope is a lie. I have the same experience when I sail through the Caribbean, right? Like, it's tough. All right, let me try and pull your thing up here. Hold on. I need this guy. Nope. All right, can you hear? Yeah, okay, they can hear me now. All right, they can hear you too.
Can you hear me now? Good.
There we go. All right, we're all looking. Who are we looking at? Is this Eagle Land? No, this is Price's replay.
This is Price's Cassard. Yeah.
Okay. This will actually be good. I'm actually curious to see the game from his perspective.
Yep. And he's playing at 100 frames per second. Interesting. And you can see again the radio location cones being drawn on the minimap. So
That's a mod I should install. I don't have that one.
Yeah, there's a number that are very handy. Now, it's interesting, the minimap's not showing the torpedoes as they fire. It's probably just a replay thing.
Hmm. You're right, Zath. It's going to be those Gdansk torpedoes that catch those destroyers early.
It looks like it, yeah. Because remember,
Yeah,
I looked it up, and Fryce only had 2.
Yeah. And I think his 2 are the 2 that he lands on the bow of the Howden Leo out here in a little bit.
Yeah, that would make sense. Now you can see a lot of radio location pings as well on the other side.
Forces ennemies repérées à l'horizon.
But aside from those initial torpedo hits, they still have no information about the enemy.
No.
Nope, there's the
Boost
Zao.
des moteurs activés.
So as soon as you see the Zao, you know that's the kite flank. So you know
Of
the
course.
bulk is going to be the opposite end.
But that's the thing, is they have 2 Zaos. So do you know, are they both on that flank? How have they split them? You don't know
Right.
just yet.
That's a good point. They do have 2.
One of the things that I do like about watching replays from this perspective is you're seeing the information that the team has in the real time that they learn it. And I think there's a lot of value in that because, again, you know, I point out when we cast these things, you know, as you know, the caster view that we have is kind of like, you know, the Eye of Sauron. We can see it all. We have the ability to toggle which view that we see, and we do that on occasion. But in general, you and I like to just play with, you know, hey, just give it to me all, right? The guys on the field, though, we have to constantly remember that they don't necessarily have that luxury.
Yeah. Once upon a time, we were forced into that, right? Once upon a time.
Yes.
Heck, we were even had to get ourselves team killed. Like we had to crash into each other
Yeah.
or get team killed in order to spectate.
Yeah.
And so there used to be, I mean, we could only see our team's torpedoes, our team's whatever. We couldn't even tell if hydro was being used or radar or other consumables.
You and I have been doing this since that old days, right? When there were all kinds of things that you could and couldn't see. You know, used to, we had to spawn and tell each other where, you know, I'd be like, so Zath, where is such and such destroyer? We haven't seen him in a while. And you'd say something like, oh, you're going to see him soon, you know?
Yeah. Those were my favorite moments when Zath would, or when Raptor would be like, Zath, where is so-and-so? And I'm like, oh, you'll see them in a moment.
Yeah,
Boom.
exactly.
Moteur désactivé.
Bam, there he is, you know?
But we'd have to say things like, hey, Raptor, go look over here. Trust me. You
Yes,
know? And
yeah.
he'd have to go move the camera and...
Right. Go set your camera up at sea. It's going to get interesting in a minute. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, the casting tools have come a long way, right? I remember going to my very first CC summit in St. Petersburg in summer of 19. And were you there when we did the little breakout session with Mimi? Were you part of that?
I can't remember. I think so.
So they took a bunch of us aside who did competitive casting, right? I remember Flambass was in there. I thought you were there. I think Flamu was there because at the time those guys were doing a bunch of competitive casting, and you remember Mimi Missile, right? Who was one of the most amazing devs on that team. She was a big proponent of competitive play and constantly worked with us to try to come up with better tools to put into
Alerte incendie.
the training room that would allow us to do cool things. She was the one that added the ability for us to kind of, you know, see it all, have the toggle between the two, all these kinds of things. That's all of the tools many of the tools that we have today as competitive casters come from those early days of her dedication to making it happen. And I remember that because I remember sitting in that room and her proposing all of this stuff, and our eyes are lighting up. Like, oh hell yeah, let's go! Like, please give us this, please give us that. We would love that capability. All these
finally they listen to us, kind of reaction.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And I was always left with the impression that she was doing some of that kind of on her own time. Like, it wasn't the sort of thing that was officially sanctioned, let's say. But man, it was great having somebody on the dev team who took it that seriously, who was that dedicated to it.
Wargaming culture has typically been, okay, you've got your various jobs, your tasks, whatever, and you are considered the stakeholder for that job, that project. But they're perfectly open. If you want to grab another project to build something, to take the initiative on that, you can. And of course, in the corporate world, that has an impact on your, review, pay, blah, 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 right? So the idea is that they want you to volunteer. Hey, raise your hand. I want to do that. There goes Peyton. And so I'm sure Mimi saw this as an opportunity. Here's something that's lacking in the game right now. I know I can make this happen. I'm going to become the stakeholder of this project, and we're going to bring this on. So that was awesome.
Yep.
And there goes the Petro.
She was one of the best. I remember, guys, one of my favorite pictures from that event in 2019 was from meeting her, because that was just awesome. It was so nice to connect with somebody on the dev team who had the same passion for competitive play, tournament play, and more importantly, from my perspective, showcasing the game, right? Like, when we do these big tournaments, you get a lot of eyeballs on the game. So how do we make it look better? How do we make it easier to follow? How do we make it something that players can understand? And each of these brought a different challenge, and having somebody on the team who was just as interested as you were in, how do we bridge this gap, always felt really, really good. It was nice.
Absolutely. So now radio location shifted. They know the Howden's moved. Go ahead.
Yes. I was about to say that nearby radar mod is something I'm going to have to look into. That feels like cheating, but I like it.
The circles or what? Or the nearby radars?
No. That little box that says nearby radars. Like, I'm like, to look into that.
Yeah, there was an older minimap mod that I used by Battleframe. I think that was the name. But when the server split happened, I think they were they were on the Russian server. So development ceased on that because obviously they're developing for a different client now. So we got this instead. But I preferred the other one. It was a better integrated kind of feel, but this is okay.
Yep. For those of you that might just be joining, guys, we're watching a replay of an earlier game. We have another 15 minutes until the grand finals begin. So Zaf has blessedly kind of taken pity on me and my general disgust for how our time is being managed or not managed today. By pulling down the replay. This is game 2 of the series that we game 1.
Game 1.
This is game 1. This is game 1 of the series that we just finished between RESIN and AYAYA, the losers bracket final. This is the perspective of one of RESIN's destroyers. They took a Cassard. This is Frice.
Yep.
We're getting to the late game now. It's a 50-point lead here for these guys. And Frice is realizing that they're trying to step into this cap. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to tolerate this. You can sit in the cap, but you will not convert it, and we are going to continue to tick up our lead, and that's all you get.
Now, the nice thing about Frice being in this position is it frees up Eagle Lance and the Gdansk to sit where he's at, smoke and radar, and continue shooting. So, Frice doesn't have to do anything here, but just play, radio location picket, right? Where are they moving? Have we seen the needle switch? There's Precue's Ragnar now. He's opening up on the Gdansk. That's his radar catching him. And I think Frice is going to be detected here in a moment.
No, I don't think he ever gets detected in this position, but I think they know exactly where he has to be.
Well, sure.
And certainly there are some torpedoes that come, floating out of this corner that it becomes obvious where he is. I mean. Somebody in my chat asking if these teams use voice chat to coordinate. 100% absolutely unquestionably yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All competitive teams in this game pretty much use voice chat of some fashion. Discord is generally the tool of the day.
Yes.
Many moons ago we used
TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak, I believe. Yes.
Do you remember the Beat the Pro tournaments?
I vaguely remember this. Yes.
One of my favorite tournaments because you had these different boosters that you could, use to impact the game. Like the enemy team can't play a battleship, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was one of my favorites, personal favorites, was native language mode. So EU teams aren't necessarily all English made, primary language English.
I remember this.
So it was, I think it was, how was it, Throw? I think it was Throw that I covered, and they were native language mode. So we had to listen. There was like a Japanese woman. There was Germans. There were Finns. There were and everybody was speaking. They had to speak in their native language, and we got to listen in on the Discord when they did it. That was so freaking fun to do.
That would have been entertaining. I admit that would have been entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you gonna do? You just gonna load up the next match?
Might as well. We have we have some time, don't we? Still.
We definitely have some time. They have finished picking band ships and map rotations, so we can.
Okay.
We can at some point we can get to where we talk about all of that if you would like.
Gotcha. This game is pretty quick, so I think we'll load this one first, and then we'll go from there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
this one's going to be from AYAYA's perspective, and this is the second game. I really want to see what AYAYA's commands were and what they were trying to do.
Which ship are we going to be looking over?
Looks like the Daring. So each team has to submit one replay.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we get to watch from iCUE's perspective in the Daring. So yeah, the first game felt very more kind of just almost traditional COTS, just minus the, the smoke stuff, right? A lot of positioning, a lot of luck chuck torps, couple very lucky huge torpedo salvos that trip up the enemy team and kept RESIN in the driver's seat the whole time, really.
Yeah.
Now, some teams, you can tell what they're doing by clicking on the mini-map. And we'll see if they do that at the start or not. I had a comment on my chat saying that at this point, AYAYA just wanted to do their game, and they were going to do it no matter what.
I mean, that's entirely reasonable if that's where we landed. It seems odd, though. Generally, you have to react to what your opponent is doing. That's just the name of the game. All right, let's go ahead and set this up.
So a couple of clicks over at Charlie 2 Island. That's probably telling the Marseille you're going to go this way.
You're not actually streaming the game, by the way.
Oh, am I not? Oh,
nope.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm seeing
I'm
your
sorry.
camera.
No, it's because I have to. When the game is done, Warships closes. The client closes, and so Discord closes the stream.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I forgot.
That's okay.
I'm not used to streaming replays on Discord.
There we go. All right, let's put this back up.
Yeah. Thanks for saying something.
You're good. Hang on a minute, guys. We'll get it up. There it is. No, why am I not seeing that? Why is this not? What the hell? Oh, I turned the thing off. Okay, there we go. It's up now. Okay, please continue. My apologies.
Professional streamer. So,
Professional streamer.
God, what are all those things for? We think they're going there. Or there. Okay, that's where they think the Hoffman's going to go. Either one of those two spots. Either the island south of Eyeline or the middle island there. iCUE is going to that position to try to see, is the Hoffman going to go there? So they don't know where the Hoffman's going to go yet. Again, it just feels odd because they had a Hoffman on this map, and they sent the Hoffman to the same place that RESIN did. So
yeah.
Maybe they're 5D chessing it, right? Knowing that they know that we know that they know that we know, we're gonna do this. Des Moines detected. There's the Delny.
Attention. Reporting a target's position.
Yeah, the Delnys, I watched that Delny engagement happen. I could see them. I could see the island. I was like, this is where first contact is coming, 100%.
That's right.
Yeah, I liked Yichu's daring position in this match because he kind of took this bold line here early, pushing torpedoes in from a direction that you wouldn't necessarily otherwise expect. And then he kind of hung around mid, and then they were able to, able to quickly. Ooh, he took a good hit from the Orange there. Quickly sort of redeploy him over to C, which generally, if you send multiple destroyers over to A, it takes a notable amount of time to get them over to the C cap. And of course, daring doesn't have a speed boost, no engine boost there. So, but he's already in mid. He's already 2 lines closer to where he needs to be.
Yes.
And so it's like, all right, well, I could just turn and go do my thing.
Well, his positioning is to get a pick on the south of the middle island. They're assuming the Hoffman goes to the middle island.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about. Is you've got a firing angle here to the pick, and then you've got the Prince Venerani as well, and possibly the Puerto Rico. So that's the idea with this play. We see a lot of teams like to do that. The Hoffman is now detected. We also saw him do something kind of interesting too. I don't know if you caught it. He shot first, got spotted, then smoked. Usually I tell people, don't ever do that in replay analysis, right? Because you don't want to tell a radar cruiser, hey, I'm right here and I'm in your radar so you can defeat my smoke. Just press your I win button. He did it, I think, on purpose to try to bait out Peyton's Des Moines radar when he knew it wouldn't catch anything else. Very interesting.
Yeah. Finals room is up, by the way.
Okay.
There's nobody. Oh, I'm in the wrong account. Derp. Gotta change accounts.
So,
my mistake.
Oh, they're on the NA server, aren't they? That's right.
Yes, correct.
All right. Well, they said it starts at 15. That's their aim.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes. They were not. The teams were not in there and like fully readied up or anything. We got time.
All right.
You may have to speed up through some of this at some point, though.
Right. Yeah, I thought the game was. I think there's about 6 minutes left in it. So yeah, I'll put it on 1 level here, just speed it up slightly.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes to starboard.
Yeah, because there's not going to be much happening with this daring for a hot minute.
No. So they're saying, okay, we think the Z42 is here, and the Zao is going to keep going down the 10 line. That's what those commands were right there. Marseille is still there, continuing to be farmed out. That's when they brought the Ragnar back to try to help.
Now, the play that I'm watching for, because I missed it in the live game, is when the Hoffman makes his move.
Yeah, I missed it too because we were both spectating over on this flank because that's where the action was.
We were busy on this flank.
And I guess it kind of makes sense because when you're in a big fight, there's oftentimes a lot of voice comms. Things get overloaded, and it's very easy to neglect what's happening by you because you're listening and looking at the minimap.
Yep.
Okay, so Ichi's going to go into the cap now. He's going to back in.
He's going to try to back in, but before he gets there,
there it is.
He's going to get picked up on Hydro. Yep.
He spots
Eagle
the
Lance's Hydro
Z42.
comes up. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't actually spot it. He just knows
he did.
from the smoke in the Hydro. Oh, okay. He actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see it on the map now.
He got the spotting ribbon.
Oh, I see it now. There's the Marseille. Watch, watch, watch. See it?
Yep.
The Marseille peak. He peeks around the corner too far.
Yes.
And that's when Big Boy makes his move. And by that point, the Delny has backed off too far to be of decisive assistance in that engagement.
Right. Now they're saying, okay, we think the Des Moines going to go up there. But Peyton just goes right through the channel after capping A.
I would not delay too much on getting in the room.
Okay.
Both teams are here. They're mostly ready.
Okay.
Smoke generator activated.
Let's just kind of get through this. We got 2 minutes, so... Pew, 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 pew. I mean, the game's pretty much all over anyways.
The game's over at this point anyway. Like...
All right. Prepare to fast forward. Fast forwarding, sir.
I always drink coffee when I watch radar. Everybody knows this.
Of course we do.